she could die from this,
Right.
and I don't want to lose you. Welcome to Startup Spouses, where we help entrepreneurial couples take their relationship from mediocre to mind-blowing. I'm Marie, an intimacy coach.
I'm Adam. I am a business coach.
So today, what is your good news? What is your
Ooh.
personal and professional good news?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
All
So,
right, I got to jump in there really quickly and be like, what are you first?
Yeah.
You go first.
yeah. Well, my professional good news is this past week, I think did a lot of work on really crafting our framework for like how we bolt on the relationship coaching over the course of the business coaching model.
Yes.
So I think we have a really a great product that we're lining up to help entrepreneurial couples all along the journey of their relationship strength and their business strength, so that they can just build a really great relationship and business together.
Yeah.
So that's exciting professional good news. My relationship good news, I think that the thing that we have done really well over this week is we've maintained the ability, especially since I've been home, to have lunch with each other every day, which has been really nice.
Yes.
And I think that's been really important, as people that work together, that we're just taking those micro moments, 30 minutes, just to have lunch and connect. And it's not talking about business. It's not talking about kids. It's talking about us. That's been great.
Yes, I would agree. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What's your good news?
I thought you
Were
would
you waiting
never
for me to
ask.
I thought you were gonna just chime in and tell me your personal or your relationship and professional good news. Sorry, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, that was me. That's me. I'm totally. It's all about me.
I think this week I got to lean into my creative side, which I enjoy, about how we want to develop startup spouses and moving forward too. So, kind of like what's coming next?
Yeah.
How can we provide more value to people out there? So I really enjoy that, and maybe like getting into like up designing our website and pictures too, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
So.
Brand refresh. Yeah, we got a lot of really cool things coming. So
Exactly.
be on the lookout.
So that has been awesome this week, and also personally is the fact that not only just taking a little bit of time to also lean into the creative side in my doing art and enjoying that portion, but also watching you lean into your creative side and watching you play music as well too. So,
Well, thank you.
And going out to different places and listening to you play and shine in your own way. So that has been really amazing and connective. And if you really want to grow that desire with your significant other, watch them do something that they are passionate about. And that is just part of the amazement and part of the amazing connection that you can have.
Yeah, and we got to have a future episode on that actually.
Yes.
Like the idea that of keeping that individual, like the individual passions alive. I mean, a lot of what we do, like when we get married, is this idea of like, how can we just blend all of our time and make sure that we're pursuing this? No, you're still going to have individual passions, right? And how can we share in each other's passions while also giving the autonomy to actually explore those passions,
Yeah.
which I'm really grateful to you for giving me that space to really explore music again, and then also supporting me on that path. You've done that so much through your marriage, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome too.
Thank you. Thanks. So today we're going to do something a little different. We compiled some questions from the interwebs to just to kind of get an Ask Us Anything going here, and learn from you all what is on your mind related to how you're growing your business, how you're strengthening your relationship, and what challenges you're running into. How can we help? And that's what this episode is dedicated to. So we took some of the more common questions that we get, and we took those from individuals, and we're gonna answer them here. So how does that sound? Does that sound good, Marie? Should we jump into it?
Yay, let's do
All right.
this off the cuff.
Yeah,
you know?
off the cuff. Let's give it a try.
Yes.
So I've got the questions on my phone here, which is why I'm not like checking my text or anything. So so first question that we got is, how do I get my wife to agree to a meeting? Ooh. I have tried to broach this subject before, and she rejects it every time because she doesn't want to make our relationship like a business. How often do we hear it? This is one of the more common ones we hear, isn't it?
I agree with that.
Yeah. How do you get a spouse on board with meetings? So let me ask you that question, because at one point I proposed that dangerous idea of a meeting, and I think it wasn't when we were necessarily like in the best relationship ever, right? So what was your response? What helped you to come around?
Well, when you said that, I mean, we were in a very challenging position with the health of our daughter, and we kind of knew that this could really split us up. Like, this could really just destroy our marriage. Is the challenging what happens if our child doesn't make it?
Right.
What if they die? And I kind of was sitting in that moment and thinking, what would he think? Or what would you say to me? Or what would somebody say to us about what we were doing for her? And I don't see that it would have been a positive environment for both of us. And that I knew that the most important thing was to strengthen our relationship. Because I said, like, she could die from this,
Right.
and I don't want to lose you.
So what I'm hearing there is that your pain was strong enough
Yes.
to want to try something new that would hopefully help to reconnect us. Was there anything that, because that was a challenging moment, and not everybody, and I'm not sure about
No.
this person here. I'm not sure if they're in a dire straits kind of like make or break point.
Yes.
And maybe they just want us to get the meeting going to kind of strengthen that connection. Was there anything that I said in particular in that helped you to kind of come around?
Oh, yes. I mean, you had said that you had goals for how many date nights that you were setting for your quarterly meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So date nights. Yeah. On for the goals that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of impressed by that because, I kind of like see that as a challenge, kind of like, oh, wow, he's really moving and thinking about this relationship. And so I want to focus on our relationship as well. That kind of like stepped me up and said, hey, you know what? He's doing a lot for us, and I need to also step up and be a part of this relationship too. So I was like, oh, you have goals. I want goals.
Right.
Like, where can I get some goals for this too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when we started doing the dates, I felt seen and heard, and I felt special, and I really enjoyed the time that we got to spend together.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think that gets to that's a great. I appreciate sharing. Is it gets to a great point here, which is you had a certain thing that prompted you to know that hey, this is going to be beneficial to me. This isn't just about another maybe a lot of times one partner will present a meeting to their spouse. And it's because they see how much success they have in their business,
Yes.
where accountability is the goal. And a lot of business owners are struggling with holding their leaders accountable, holding their teams accountable. Everything's running on chaos. And so they're like, oh, this works here and everybody's accountable. Maybe I could bring this dynamic into my marriage. And their secret thinking there is like, oh, maybe there could be accountability in our marriage, meaning I can get more of what I want, right? And that's where the danger lives. And dare I say, that's where your spouse is right if they're rejecting the idea of a meeting. If you're trying to have a meeting to increase accountability in your marriage, watch
That is
out.
no,
No.
because I mean they're already overloaded,
Right.
and feeling that they're not up to their own expectations. Why am I
Yeah.
going to feel that? That's kind of creates a little bit of shame,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're gonna back away from that too.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And I think that's why framing the meeting, understanding first what, like being really clear and really honest with yourself, back to openness and honesty. Why do you want to have this meeting? Like, what is the purpose
That's a
behind
good
it?
one.
And so understanding what that is so that you can clearly convey that, and also know that your motives are truly, good for the nature, for the greater good of the marriage. Just like you want to implement things into your business for the greater good of the business so that you can strengthen your vision, your profitability, all of that stuff. And in your marriage, it's about the greater good of the marriage and that. So what is the greater good of the marriage? And what would the purpose of that meeting do? Well, really the greater good of any marriage is going to be a greater connection, a stronger partnership, more open and honest relationship. So then what is the goal? What is the purpose of a meeting? It's not accountability, it's connection.
Yes.
It's connection. So framing it the right way, first off, is how you can get your spouse on board with a meeting. That's why we call our workbook that you can download for free a weekly couples connection,
Yes.
not a meeting, because it helps to frame it in the right context. You're there to connect with your spouse in the right set of ways. You're learning to communicate better. You may set goals if that's something that you want, but ultimately it's all coming down to connection, not accountability. Don't make that mistake first off. So that's my first answer to that question. I think the other part of it kind of gets to Marie's story, which is also seek first to understand. Seek first to understand where your spouse is at. Meet your spouse where they are. What do they need? For me, it was like I knew that, like in the most noble of efforts, I wanted to connect with Marie through more date nights and things like that, more intimacy, and so I set my own goals for that without the expectation of having a weekly meeting. And when I presented that to her, she saw the evidence that I was already trying to meet her needs.
Exactly.
And so the question is that before you put something in front of your spouse as another to do, A, what's in it for them? In this case, what's in it for her? And B, have you already demonstrated that you're doing for her what they really want, and actually getting curious and understanding what their wants, what their needs are, and already expressing that? When you start to do that, when you start to meet them where you're at, the idea of having that weekly connection becomes more obvious because you're putting in the effort already.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you were cheerleading me on instead of trying to hold me accountable to my goals too.
Yeah.
And saying,
Yeah.
and just being like, look at the way that you've grown in this area, and instead of, oh, you didn't meet that goal, shame on you. Like it's like that's what I think that watching you do that in our meetings was very helpful too.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's not about running your business or running your marriage like a business, though a lot of the same tools apply. The goals are different. It's about connection. It's about
Yes.
grace. It's about all of that thing. Know the difference there as you're presenting that, and yeah, give it some time, give it some patience, but do those things that'll help that. Do you think we solved it? Anything else to add to that one?
No, I think we did a good job on that. Good
Yeah,
job.
good. High five. First Ask Me Anything question. Good job. All right, our next question that we got from out there in the world. What is your advice to help me connect with my spouse? I feel like I'm doing all the gestures to try to connect, but not getting anything back in return. I really want to have a connective relationship, but I feel a bit unfulfilled. Okay, so it sounds like this person is really struggling with trying to, I guess, get back that connection that they want and they feel like they're giving to their
Yes.
spouse. So
Yes.
how do they handle that lack of feeling like they're not receiving?
First of all, acknowledging that really sucks to be feeling that you're not wanted and have some frustration in that too. So I mean, and being vulnerable to talk about it. It's just that in itself to reach out and look for an answer, because that can be really frustrating and devastating and feeling like you're alone and you're not wanted too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I commend people who can ask those questions, and then going into the fact that getting curious of what may be going on in the other person's life, like having empathy and seeing where they're at in that moment. Are they in that area where we are, where I can be going through perimenopause symptoms
Right.
and not being educated to understand what I can do for myself because I'm too busy, with the kids' lives or work and stress. I mean, just getting curious about, hey, what's going on for that person? Like, and come from a place of concern if that is the fact too. Also, stress in your life. It can also lead to a person not wanting to be connected and intimate. Like if you're stressed out, it's the last thing on your mind. You're looking
Right.
for all the dangers and everywhere in every aspect of your life. And also medication. A lot of medications can also cause that disconnection, that need to, and understanding that there are different things that could lead for that disconnection as well too. So it's not just an easy one-time fix. It could be multiple areas or even just one of these areas that can cause a lot of disconnection within in a relationship too. So
Yep.
getting really curious and maybe not having the conversation in the bedroom as well too. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially if it's about, being intimate.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
or like when you're about to go to sleep,
Right. Yeah. I know that you hate when I do that.
or like like you're frustrated and you're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're coming from a place of, like that frustration, anger, resentment, and that's a really really difficult place to come to and have that conversation if you're not feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, and I do feel for this person who feels like they're giving and not necessarily receiving what they want. And I don't know, it's hard to kind of gauge given the details we don't have.
Yes.
But I think that my question for this person would be, hey, have you really made it clear what you want?
Exactly.
Have you been clear? In the business world, and it's often that you have to repeat things 7 times before people hear them. And for some people it's more, some people it's less. And depending on what that is and how you've conveyed it and when. I mean, set and setting obviously really matters. If you're talking about this in the bedroom and you're speaking out of frustration and the other person's on the defensive, when you're sharing these wants and needs, it almost feels like an attack. But maybe when it comes in the container of safety, and looking at that first pillar of safety, making sure that the environment is psychologically, emotionally safe, and then presenting, hey, I'd like to talk to you about my wants and needs. If I'm reading between the lines, I apologize, but a lot of times when I read into something that says I'm giving so much, but I'm not getting something in return, what I'm reading is somebody that is, and a lot of times, this isn't true for everyone, but a lot of times that's somebody who is kind of in that martyr syndrome of like, I want to keep giving, and then I'm going to be disappointed because I'm not getting what I want, and they have trouble receiving. And I wonder if are you open to actually receiving that connection? That's another question. Is that frustration self-imposed to some degree? If it's not, I apologize for asking the question, but I think generally speaking for everybody to think about, if you're out there and you're feeling like you're giving a lot and you're not getting anything in return, A, are you being clear on what your wants and desires and needs are for that connection?
Yes.
And B, are you setting yourself up to kind of be that martyr or that that is the kind of white knight, so to speak, that is giving so much, but they just don't know how to receive because you're not open enough. Mm-hmm. Remember, as open as how you receive. It's being willing to receive the good and the bad. And a lot of people are afraid to receive the good, the connection, because they're afraid to receive the bad.
Yes.
That's all I would add to your answer on that is yeah, I think just kind of look internally too.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's
All
great.
right. Awesome.
Answer.
Thanks. Yeah, you too. So, or anything else to add to that one?
No.
All right. Cool. So we'll move on to the next question, which is this was one we saw in the comments. We see the value in a weekly connection meeting, but we are also very busy, and our schedules are a bit chaotic. How do we fit a meeting in amidst that chaos? So I added the last part of that question just because, in the comments, it was just more of a comment of like, yeah, we're too busy and too chaotic. We can't have a meeting. Yeah. But I think the question inherent in there is how do you fit in a meeting amidst the chaos of the day-to-day?
Yes.
And so I think that the recommendation that we usually give is that you should usually allocate 60 minutes to a weekly connection with your spouse, like a weekly connection meeting, right? If you don't have the time for 60 minutes, that's totally normal. Everybody gets busy. Everybody is chaotic. I totally understand. Yeah. So if you don't have 60 minutes, then you need to make it 90 minutes.
That's funny.
So because the inherent answer in there is that, yeah, we all have 24 hours in a day. All of our lives are chaotic, and some more than others. And I'm not dismissing the fact that you have a chaotic life. But I'm going to be blunt with this because this is the bluntness that I have with my leadership teams too, is that the chaos that you're experiencing in your business or your relationship is your responsibility. It's also, and when it's your responsibility, I don't mean that it's your fault. Responsibility implies that it is something that you own. Yeah. And it is something that is your responsibility to solve in one way or another or live with. Mm-hmm. Those are your choices. You can either live with it or solve it. Yeah. And so part of that responsibility means that you're responsible for all the good that happens in your relationship and your business. You're also responsible for all the bad and all the chaos and everything like that. You own it. And again, that's not implying fault. It's just applying ownership. So within that idea, you have the responsibility to prioritize the most important thing. The better that you can get at prioritizing the most important things in your relationship and your business, the more important issues that you're going to solve, the more you're going to move the needle, and the more time you're going to have. Because when you prioritize those things that you need to solve, you're removing obstacles, but you're also spending more time in the things that should be giving you more energy. And the amount of time that you have is a direct result of the amount of energy that you have and the amount of efficiency that you have. Energy and efficiency, that's the equation. Energy times efficiency equals the amount of time you have. Yes. The more you increase time and energy, or the more you increase energy and efficiency, exponentially increases the amount of time you have in those 24 hours, because we all have 24 hours in a day. That's the constant. So my question to you is your relationship important enough to prioritize? Yeah. Does your relationship give you the energy when you prioritize it and when you connect? Yeah. When you're in that meeting and you're with your spouse and you're connecting, does it give you the energy? Do you solve issues there that you are clearing things off your plate for the rest of the week in the same way that you would in your business? the answer to those things is yes, then what the hell else could be more important than that? This is, I don't mean to be kind of, I do mean to be blunt with this, but I get it when people say they're too busy. Everybody's busy. We're busy.
Exactly.
We make time for that because it's important enough that we know that this connection is important. Because what if we didn't? We wouldn't be connected. We wouldn't be communicating well. It would create another obstacle in our lives that would get in the way of everything else we need to do. It would create more chaos. When we have this connection, we're removing that bit of chaos so that we can remove chaos everywhere else. Your job as a leader, as a business owner, and as a couple in a relationship is to remove chaos so that everything can flow through smoothly.
Yes.
And that's why it's important to prioritize that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything?
Yeah, I would like to add the fact that I think I learned this from my sister because like one time I was over at her house and I noticed like she had her scrubs because she's a nurse and she had them in the back of the door of her bathroom and her makeup all set out, and I was like, I kind of made fun of her in a way because I was like, oh, are you all set up for tomorrow morning? And she's like, it makes it so much easier for me to go through my day.
Yeah.
And because everything's set up too. And I started realizing how that was important. Like how we started when we were doing Ironman training, it was like meal prep for the week, meal prep, setting everything up so that for the week, you know, can make your life so much easier because you kind of ate the same meal
Yeah,
for the day.
right.
So it was easy to meal prep and set everything up, organize it on Sunday, and it was like so that, and so I started doing that with myself, you know, what I'm going to wear. And a lot of people who are pretty intelligent and are wealthy and successful almost do the same thing. So like like a lot of males will just wear a black t-shirt and jeans, and that's their wardrobe.
Yeah.
So because you don't have the extra space to think about that stuff. Exactly. So
I mean, everyone just pay attention to my wardrobe really quick. It's just
so yes, you're intelligent and successful. So it kind of sets you up because let's not have chaos run our lives. We're already set up. We have some structure in our days that make it go smooth so that when things go wrong, that we have the ability to focus on it because everything else has been structuralized. And it goes the same with your relationship. If you have the structures in place, the things that are challenging in your life can be a lot easier. It still sucks, but it can be a lot easier for you when you have the structures in place that you know what the week is going to entail.
That's right. Yeah, it's a great point. I think it's just if you could focus on those efficiency things and everything else, those are things that you can actually solve in your weekly meeting if you're struggling with that. It has to be the most important thing in the week. Otherwise, your week's going to control you. So get that done. Take care. Do the weekly meeting. Just do it. Prioritize it. Make it important. And if you don't have time for 60 minutes, you need 90 minutes.
Exactly.
So I think that's a good place to stop this week. You know, get 3 good
Exactly.
questions in. And we want to revisit that segment every few weeks or so because I think it's important to know like what questions you have, what struggles are you having in your business and in your relationship when you're running a business with your spouse. So if that's the case, you can email us those questions, or you can reach out on socials and DM us at Startup Spouses on Instagram or on YouTube. You can just comment on this episode. But ask us those questions so that we can get them in on a future segment of Ask Us Anything. last part of this
Highlights.
podcast highlights. Yeah. So tell me, or I'll tell you. How about I'll tell you? I'll tell
Okay,
you.
you tell me.
Your yeah. So play. That's one of our core values, right?
Yes.
I just want to. I want to compliment you on that because of this last couple weeks have been kind of chaotic. You mentioned our daughter just come home, and more people in the house, lots of just stuff happening, but still, you know, I get the sense whenever I come into a room that you are happy to see me or flirting, you know, and that playfulness is still always there. It's something I need to improve on in terms of transition from like work mode or like something pisses me off mode into more playful mode.
Yes.
But I think that you do such a good job with that, like
Yeah.
without having to have like a really big transition. So thank you for that because I think that that's a really important part of our relationship.
Oh, I
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just wanted to have a shout out to you of like you had a really big setback this week, and I noticed that instead of shutting down and like really trying to focus on why does this shit always happen to me, you really leaned into it and started. Yeah, I mean, a pity party is always part of that, but you also like decided that what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What will move me forward? And I just wanted to say I'm very proud of you for doing that. So
Thank you.
good job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. Hopefully, you all are doing your core value shout outs in your weekly meetings. If you're not, you should really incorporate it in the highlights. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it with a friend, maybe somebody who resonates with one of those questions we just asked. That would be a really great help for us to get the message out there, because this idea that strengthening your relationship so that you can strengthen your business is an important one. And we have a lot of experience and a lot of credibility in this world, having built, you know, business over the course of the last 20 plus years, working together in that environment and growing together, and now building a mind-blowing relationship together. And now as relationship and business coaches. So share this with a friend, like it, subscribe, do all the things. And also, if you want to start that meeting rhythm, if you want to make the time for that meeting rhythm every single week with your spouse, we have a weekly connection workbook that you can download in the show notes that helps walk you through that process. It has prompts, it has an agenda, and can help you get started to having that connection meeting that, if you do it consistently, can start to strengthen your marriage and build a really great relationship that fuels everything else. We have been doing that for years. We've adopted it from the science of great meetings and great connection. So please incorporate that in your life. Download it for free in our show notes, and hopefully you'll join us next time when we come back again and do a new subject. So thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next time.